All right. Hi, everybody. Sorry, my computer needed a one-time code from Shirag's phone, so I had to track him down, which was a blast.
Suddenly it's getting.
All right. How's everybody doing? Good. Somewhat good. Better now that we're all together on the call, I hope. All right. Was anybody in Charleston? What was it, last week now? Yes, me too. I'm still recovering from sleep. Said I'm never having another margarita again. I'm like, I'm done. I'm good for the whole week.
Yeah.
Um, what'd you say?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Right? I know. I'm like, it's like 11 a.m. network. Yeah, now I can. 11 a.m. network with a spritz. 2 p.m. network with I'm like, okay, can we network? I hope I'm coherent in these conversations now after
I didn't
these
get to
2
see
weeks.
you. I didn't know you
Yeah.
were there.
Even I
I
didn't
I missed so
know.
many people.
I didn't see you too. I was
I
wondering.
know.
There were a lot of
Did
I
you
was kind
then?
of bopping around, but it's always like that, right? Like, go ahead.
I only saw Donna. Yeah.
we did.
We did. Yeah.
It was fun. It was a great week. I thought it was such a beautiful city. I'm like already planning a trip back now. I want to go and just explore as opposed to like being in and out of all these panels, and everything was so wonderful.
It was. I stayed till Saturday,
cool.
and I just bebopped around the town for 2 days without the retreat. It was fun.
Yeah. We went
Yes.
before the retreat.
Yes.
We came in on Saturday afternoon. And,
Okay. That's smart too.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
No, it was great.
it was
We
fun.
got great weather and everything. So very lucky.
Well, one day it kind of rained.
The third, yeah, whatever it was, Thursday. I think the day we
Yeah.
were, yeah.
This when is whatever. Yeah. Cool. It was fun.
It is what it is. So, well, with our crew today, I always kind of feel like once we kind of start dwindling towards the holidays, people are getting a little tired of the year, as we all probably are. But I have really been liking what Shrug's talking about a lot. I think is a lot of emphasis, as usual, but on this luxury experience, and kind of what our versions of creating luxury really mean. So a way to kind of get people involved and out of their seats today, so to speak, I wanted to see if we could all do like a little bit of a round robin of what we feel is one thing or two things that creates the luxury experience within our team or with our clients. And I feel like every time kind of coming off of Charleston and the retreat, I'll be in conversation with one person, they share one thing they do. I'm like, that's brilliant. I don't know why I never thought to do that. So, and being able to kind of incorporate that, I think is a huge part of our culture here. And how open people are to sharing that. So I was hoping we could all kind of go back and forth and share some of that. It could be anything about the client experience that you feel is something great that you do. So I'll start. Feel like the first thing really tech related, as you guys have heard me talk about a lot, is the collections. So really being able to explain to people how that's going to enhance their experience and especially their search experience, because that is kind of like the foundation of, with my buyers at least, how our process works and somewhere we're always in on a daily basis. So I think that's the main thing for me, and really making sure that those are curated. If anybody was on my buyer consultation free coaching month thing with Shirag, I did a really large emphasis on how that saves the buyer's time and really making sure that the houses that they're getting are viable options for them, really things that are going to be encompassing kind of everything we talked about on that consultation call, everything they're looking for out of their lifestyle. So I think my luxury experience really starts in the collections. That's one thing for me. Anybody else?
And so, Cate, would you say I'm the buyer and tell me how you're going to help give me that luxurious experience?
Which pertains to which part? What's your question?
When you tell them,
The search?
Okay, so you start with say, I'm going to set up collections. I will send you an invite and you accept it, and then you will see these
Yes.
listings come up. So,
Right.
so from there on, yeah. What would you say?
Yeah. So, well, what I always say is, so when someone actually is going to get the invitation to the collection, especially in today's world, like I said, I was from a market where we didn't have these buyer representation agreements. So that's a really new thing for us in the last 4 or 5 months. So that's when they will get their invitation to the collection. That's when that curated experience, which I'm going to go back and forth here of who I'm talking to. So I'm talking to you guys. The review and hand pick version of the collection is something that my clients will get access to once they sign the exclusive agreement. So if I have somebody on a non-exclusive, because I'll do that for the first weekend, just to make sure it's going to be a right fit, then we move into the exclusive agreement. That's how it's working, at least in Westchester for me. Those people before that will get access to one of those generic collections. So something where it will look similar to something they have on a Zillow or a Redfin or anything like that, but it still will be more curated because I'm going to have selected maybe a geographic location. We're going to have had at least one conversation. From there, we can pick houses to go see on that first weekend. If we want to move forward after that in the exclusive, that's when I will shift it and I will explain to them, if I didn't get them on an exclusive the first, for that first weekend already, this is going to be a hyper curated collection. So everything that you get, and sometimes I'll show them, like I did in that buyer consultation I did, there's 100, things that just came up here, 100 houses that came up based on the generic criteria I'm able to input. You only got 8 houses. That's in the shared column. That's because I went through each of those homes and very quickly, with just a scan of my brain, I could probably eliminate 50 of them because they're not going to actually relate to the things that we've talked about. Proximity to the train, proximity to the school. They want to be able to walk to the elementary school. Okay, well, maybe 80 out of the 100 of those, even though they're in that school district, are not going to be one of your main things you're looking for. So kind of eliminating all the houses that will have those non-starters and then going through the 20 that are left. What's the functional flow? Have I previewed some of these houses before? Can I say immediately if my client's 6'4" and these ceilings are from a 1940s Tudor, maybe that's not going to work. Maybe they're going to be hitting their head as they're going in. So being able to kind of filter it from there so that the options they're getting are actual options that maybe they want me to go preview, and then we limit it down from there to the ones they're seeing on that weekend. And that's how we always say we're showing the value to the buyer as opposed to trying to just tell them. It's really, and that's why I don't mind having somebody on that non-exclusive for the first weekend, only the first weekend, don't go crazy long with that, because at that point it's, okay, I've told you a lot about what I'm going to do in the consult. Let me prove it to you. Come out with me for a weekend, look at things through my eyes and the information I'm going to be sharing with you. Haven't had, knock on wood, have not had one person after that who I had on a non-exclusive not transfer over to an exclusive agreement for 6 months. Because now I'm really showing them what that experience is going to be like. They've been in the collection, they see the comments I'm leaving, not too much, I'm giving them like a little sliver if they're on that non-exclusive, and then they get one trial weekend with Cate or 1 3-hour period, whatever, to really see how I act in person. You got my tour, you know what that's going to look like. You get my follow-up on the houses. Here's encompassing all the feedback that you gave me during the day. And they really get to have exactly what it is, kind of like a trial with you. And you also get to hear them and how they're viewing a house through that time too. So I always say this, they're not just interviewing you, you're interviewing them right back. So didn't want to make this a whole collections thing. Very long-winded answer, but those are a lot of the nuggets I try and kind of involve there. Yeah, Donna.
Can't hear you.
Hold on, I can't. Hold on, talk again now.
Start.
I can't. Is it just me?
No, I can't hear you,
Okay.
Donna. Are you connected?
Maybe try mute and unmute. Yeah, maybe put it in the chat. No, Mita, did I answer roughly what you were asking?
Yeah, I think so. It's first of all, sometimes I've had trouble with people even accepting the invitation to the collections. They
Mhm.
still go to Redfin. They still think that that's the better way to look at it, or because they haven't experienced collections. My other question is, we have such limited inventory and in the price range they want. So, I can't even narrow it down to 1 or 2 if there is only 8 listings. So they are looking at all of it, but then what I'm doing is putting in comments saying, not a great location, good location, or this is the Rose Garden area, or this is this area, to
Mhm.
let them know that I know these areas well, or, oh, I sold a house in this neighborhood a few years back. So that's what I'm doing now because of the limited inventory.
Yeah,
So,
that's, if the inventory is not there,
yeah.
that's all we have to pick from.
So
But
what I'm
Good.
saying is, therefore, it's okay for them to see what's there, and then my comments make it more curated, correct?
However, if we're talking about 8 listings, then yes, share them. But if there's only really 3 out of those 8 that are going to work for them, it also depends on the stage that somebody's at. Like at the beginning, I always say we're going to cast a wider net than we're going to end up with. So at the beginning, we might be including 5 towns. Let's say this is for my area, I'm just saying. But we might end up, like, my goal is that somebody limits that down to 2 that they're actually very serious on. So that collection is going to continue to evolve as I get more feedback and as I start to become their eyes through these houses. So it's up to you. If there's really only 8 options that are coming up, you can share all of them and say, listen, this is everything that's on the market in X area or X neighborhood. But I wanted you to be able to see all of them. These are really the top 2 that I really think are the contenders, but I wanted to make sure you had access to everything.
Sure.
And then as the relationship evolves, you can just say, nah, nothing this week that's gonna, be what you're looking for.
Actually, I start with a big wider net and then
Mhm.
come down, then reduce it. So I've done that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that's exactly what you need to be doing,
Yeah.
personally, with the way I do it. My way's not the highway, though. That's what works
No.
for me, and allows everybody to kind of be on the same process with me, because it's much easier for me to look at my buyers that way, than feeling
Right.
like, okay, I have one system with this person, one system that I can't, keep up with it that way. Donna,
Mm.
is your mic working yet?
No, still
No?
not
Okay.
working.
I don't think so. Email me, text me.
Text.
Yes, come on.
Hi,
Put it in the chat.
I just wanted to give somebody some information that I learned from another coaching class yesterday from Chris Smith. That
Yeah,
when you
please.
have people are bringing in, like, I saw this on Zillow, I saw that, and we've always used that we're able to filter specifically what they want for their house. But the one thing that came up that I'm going to use is the CEO of Zillow sold his house for 1.75 million and lost hundreds of thousands of dollars by the Zestimate. So
Correct.
Mhm.
so another thing is reaching out to your clients and shooting an email and say, just mentioning to them that, I saw your house on Zillow and you're leaving behind like 35,000, 85,000, whatever it is. And let me show you, if you want more information, let me show you how.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
just floored me yesterday.
Yeah. That happened
Yeah.
a few years ago. Yeah. I've been using that too.
Yeah.
The
That's-
Zillow
It's a
thing.
good one. Yeah.
I know it's off subject, but
So
just wanted to bring.
no, what I was gonna say with that, if I can put coach's hat on for a second, something else going back to like how to really create this 5-star luxury experience for people is really, again, viewing yourself as an advisor versus a salesperson. So going off of that great kind of tidbit, you can definitely use that language, and maybe you are going around to people who have these estimates on there, but also maybe offering a service at the end of every year, sending out a blast email to all your
Yes.
clients saying, if anybody's interested in having an updated analysis of what their house would likely sell for today, let me know. Because just like we all get it from, I get it from my brokerage statements, from everything, how am I doing financially on this? And this is a huge asset. So maybe figuring out something like that, especially as this time gets a little quieter for us, I like to use those periods to be re-engaging with people that way, especially through the lens of an advisor, not just, hey, want to grab a cup of coffee? Like, they probably don't want to grab a cup of coffee,
Right.
honestly. They probably would love to know what their house is worth, though, from 3 years ago.
Right. Great.
So anybody else with something they do, it could be anything, literally anything that you feel is something that stands out on your team or with you as an agent. throughout the experience.
I'll add something else. I
Please.
love doing open houses, even if I set one of my teammates open houses because they're not available for that day. If I get,
Mhm.
I've been finding that customers are engaging, I go right into the Med C and it develops such a nice relationship with the people, whether they're going to buy now or they're looking at the wrong house. You know, they've come to the
Yeah,
wrong open
yeah.
house. So Med C works great. They love it. They open up. You create a bond there. So that's been very helpful for me.
Great. No, I think Med C is great. I use it all the time. I use it in networking outside of clients. You know, I have
Yeah.
a networking kind of holiday party tonight, and it really has, I will also say, kind of like in Charleston too, I came back and I was talking to my husband a lot about it. It was probably one of the first retreats where, yes, I'm so grateful I get to know, I know so many people at Compass now at this point, but I really tried to challenge myself in saying, let me go up to somebody random in this crowd and just say, hey, can I jump in here? And it's such a freeing experience when you have kind of like that Med C foundation to fall back on in any conversation of just asking people, you know, think about Compass. Like, why'd you move to Compass? That's that M part of that. What was the motivation for coming here? We all have a story. Usually once you get past like that one question, you can get Compass Agent talking for hours. Oh, I love this. I love this. I love Robert. I love Rory. You know, there's so much that we have in common here. So I think the Med C is something I've really taken into my entire life of really allowing myself to be able to develop a rapport really quickly with people who I
Yes.
didn't know 5 minutes ago.
So
Agreed.
Kate, give me an example that you used now at the Charleston retreat with somebody you didn't know using the Med C.
Well, sorry, you just cut out there for a second. Okay?
I said, give us an
You
example
cut out. Can you,
of
sorry.
you can hear me? Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
now I can.
Okay. So I said,
Mhm.
would you kindly give me an example of how you use the Med C at Charleston retreat for someone you didn't know? How did you just go into a group?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of little like, you know, it's a posse and then you sort of go in. You feel odd. So
Yeah.
how did you do that?
I mean, I used to feel very odd. I was like, listen, let me just jump in. The worst case is someone says what? Kate, we're not gonna talk to you right now. We're in the middle of a conversation. Okay, no problem. Noted. I'm gonna go over to the next one. But really just jumping in there saying, yeah, I mean, for Charleston, it's like such an easy, when'd you get here? Oh, I got here. Where are you staying? I'm staying at the Mills house. Oh, me too. What, you know, whatever. And then it kind of gets flowing. But I think really asking people those questions, I love to know how people got to Compass because I think we always have a story of kind of what attracted people to this company because it's a lot of different reasons. So like I have my reason, my mom has her reason. They're very different. But we still came here as on the same team. And I think for me, like switching over to that, thinking if someone could be a potential referral partner, it's really helpful to know what part of the company they feel like they use so much, because I feel like if I have something in common with them there, I can build usually some level of rapport with them as a, you know, as a referral partner from there. So asking them a lot about their question, a lot about, you know, their experience there. And then I kind of see where it flows. Sometimes I get some answers that I'm like, not about Compass, but maybe just like they start talking about their business or the way they talk about clients is something I always pick up on. I'm like, are you treating them like a number or does it feel like they're a part of your family? That's something I always look at. Some people are very transactional and they do hundreds of transactions a year, and that's great. My clients, I know their kids, I know their dogs' names. They're a part of our family,
Right,
we always say.
right.
So, you know, things like that. I think we all have a different thing we're looking for. So, you know, I'm trying to listen for a lot of those things when I pose certain questions. I'm looking for, I don't even know if I'm ever looking for an answer, but I do know when they give me one, if that felt in like my soul, that that was a person I need to know.
Good. All right.
So I may
Mm.
have been interviewing lots of people in Charleston. We never know. We never
Mm.
know. But no, for the most part, everything's great, you know, and we're all very like-minded.
Mm.
All right. Anything else people do on their team? I know we have plenty. Events, pop-bys, handwritten notes.
That I do. Because with ninja training, they said you got to write at least 2 notes every day. So
Mhm.
I do that. And if I miss one day, then I make it up the next day. And of course, I also,
Yeah.
when I met some lovely people at Charleston and we sort of hit it together, I got their birthdays. So I'm a big birthday person. Like I send birthday cards to people. Like
Yeah.
every month, I send out anywhere between 40 to 50 cards to folks, including family, past clients, their children,
Yeah.
all of that. Then, how old the children are. So you get one today, two or three, four, those birthday cards, and they really love it. So
Yeah.
yeah, those kind of things for sure. Yeah.
I love that. It's
And
really
I
personal.
think that's
Yeah.
how people remember, and they're like, you're the only one who does it, and nobody else in their family, they don't get birthday cards, so they love that. Yeah. Or sometimes I
Yeah.
even know their anniversary, if they just got married and they're brand new, recently married
Yeah.
couple.
Yeah.
So it kind of helps. Yeah. Um,
Yeah. I think 11 clients this year get pregnant all within like the same 6 months. I was
oh
like,
my
oh my
God.
God, no one needs specialists. Just come to the Corinne and Cate team because we somehow have the magic touch here. You're pregnant in 3 months of working with us. So, I think, being really involved in people's lives like that, it's a lifestyle. Like that's what I always say is if you make this part of your life, it doesn't need to be your life. Obviously, you have life outside of your work, but when you can kind of marry the two in a healthy way and have some level of boundaries, I think people really feel that, which
So
is
may I
nice. So I
share when,
think,
since you said you had all these clients with babies, and
yeah,
if they've had babies, so Land's End has these wonderful Scottish lace blankets. They are soft and
okay,
wonderful. You can monogram it. So I get the baby's name, last name, the day they were born,
yep,
and their birth weight. And they used to have a wide variety. Now they're down to like only three: blue, pink, and white, and just teddy bear. They used to have
mhm,
wheels, they used to have a lot of different designs, but that's all they are down to now.
yeah,
It's just the teddy bear. And then, so if it's a girl, I'll use the pink and choose the darker color of thread of fuchsia so it stands out. And if
mhm,
it's a boy, I'll use the navy blue and with a block print, a block script, the font. So it's
yeah, yeah,
red. So if in the same family, boy or girl. And then I've had people tell me, oh my
yeah,
God, my kid used it and used it. It's threadbare now. They love it. Or some people have just like saved it and said, when they grow up and go away, I'll
yeah,
give it to them. But yeah, I've been doing it for years now, and it's
yeah,
so nice. And the prices have gone up. It used to be like $15, $20. Now they're up to $40. A bit monogram is
I'm
now
sure. Yeah, yeah,
eight plus tax plus shipping. Yeah. But once you get on, you get free
yeah.
shipping. So it's kind of nice. So that I think also
No,
a
that's
special
great.
thing.
Yeah.
If you have people who are pregnant and having babies, they feel so special.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think it's kind of like what you're talking about. I think when we talk about our experience, it's something that, you don't feel like, oh, I did this great gift one time, but that you kind of get your different gifts for different milestones. So it's like, okay, everyone gets a similar 1 year home anniversary. For me, everyone gets
Yeah.
cupcakes on the day of their home anniversary. So that's my thing there.
Oh.
Someone goes into contract, sometimes I'll send them things, especially if it was a tough road to get there. I'm like, you need this today. So I think something, because it also like that's what allows things to become very scalable, because you're not thinking, I think a lot of us think, oh, I saw this milestone. I couldn't think of a gift, so I didn't send anything because we were too busy thinking about the right thing to send. If you have that list in your head, and this is just for a gift, for example, or kind of what you send on these different days or milestones, it does make it a lot easier to kind of have more so of a system. As we all know, I'm very system based. But I think it's what we're talking about. It's all the small things that add up to that experience. So
Right.
I wanted to take today. I know we didn't share a bunch, but I can do another one of these because I learn something new from someone every time, like these blankets. I think it's great. And I think, really big emphasis on the prices that we can be giving people to at the end of the year, those, whatever it is, if it's a report, if it's just a
Yeah.
market report, if it's an actual price opinion,
Yeah.
is great.
So and there was another thing that I got from another friend. She's not a realtor, just a friend. something called kind notes. So it's nice jar, and there are like little quotes
Cute.
and kind quotes. So I'm like, this time I'm going to now order a few because I don't know, some people I just haven't heard from. They're good clients, but they haven't responded. So I thought, well, I'm just going to send a few of these clients
Kill them
this
with kindness, per
kindness.
se.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to
There you
do.
go. That's a
Kind.
cute idea too. Yeah. I love that. And Donna, we got to get you a new laptop
So
so I can hear
Donna,
from you.
Donna, get your somebody in your tech, in the office, the to make to see how you lock your laptop can connect to audio. You must have an AEM or a market. They know all that stuff in your office. Ask them. But you can hear us, right?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, she's nodding as she goes. All right, awesome, guys. So Don, I'm gonna let you finish up your message, and then I think I'm seeing you next week. I don't know if David is. We'll have to go and see on there. Already took it to Geek Squad. Time for a new one then.
Huh? It's
Yeah.
a new one, she said. It's a new laptop. Huh. That's it. Check
Need
the
a new laptop.
connections. Check the connections. Sometimes the connections are loose in your thing.
Yeah, let's
I
see.
need new one.
All
Oh
right.
God.
Thank you guys.
Anyway, bye-bye.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.